Hey everyone, I'm Lou from Blends by Lulu and welcome on my channel. Long time no see. Maybe you can hear it still a bit, but I have been sick. And it has been like a week full on the flu, and then a week nothing, and then 5 days the flu, and then 3 days nothing, and then it starts again. So that's why I couldn't record 2 weeks ago. Still not fully better, but that's okay. But because I was sick a lot, I also couldn't tend to my plants. So today I'm going to do a water with me. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and let's go. So I overwatered these two a few weeks ago. So I have to feel this one can have water. This one I'm not sure because it's still wet. And this plant needs water. I got this system from my work and I had a rescue plant. I will show that in a minute. That one came with the stones in this water system, and there's a reservoir at the bottom, so you only have to, it's kind of the same as lechuza, the same idea, but with a meter inside. And so I don't know if you can see it, but I need to give it water. This is the rescue plant. He's kind of doing fine, as in he almost lost all his old leaves. That happened over a period of maybe 2 months. But the bigger leaves are the ones that are still left. But as you can see, this one is going to fall off in, I think, within a week. But besides that, he has a lot of new growth. Here, this is all new growth, this is new growth, this new growth, this is all new growth. But that's the rescue plant. That one came in the water system. I put this one in, and I put this one in the water system because I had to give this plant every other day water, and like a good soap water. I did not have the capacity to do that, to tend that often to this plant. So I really wanted to have this plant with a water reservoir, and this was the system I thought was the most convenient, was the least hassle for me. And I wanted to buy the rescue plant because I needed a plant in that space and I wanted that specific one, so it all worked out. So on this table, the lower two I already gave water because I underwatered those two very much. On top I did not water everything, so as you can see, I underwatered this plant and I also underwatered this plant. So I need to prune them, care for them a bit more. I got a lot of backlight, but maybe if I zoom in, this plant, and this plant here, those are all relatively new. They are all family of the peperomia. We consider them leaning more to the succulent side. And when I bought them, which was maybe 3-4 days ago, they were already watered and they were already wet when I bought them. So I'm not gonna water them right now. And I bought these three because everything that I put here dies. And so this was kind of my last chance idea. These are plants I know do well with sun. And it's kind of an experiment. How will they react this summer? As you can see, the cacti are a mess. I told you in the previous video that my cacti destroyed my cacti. I'm going to tackle this in the next video, but these two are the ones that did the damage. And I'm not going to do the cacti situation today. I may give them water tomorrow or later in the evening, but I'm not gonna film that because this is a whole situation and I kind of need my full attention and not filming and stuff. Also, just a tip, this plant is so resilient. It's such a strong plant. This is also a plant I don't know what I am going to do with it. That's because it kind of did what I wanted. It got it got 2 shoots, but this one is not growing. It was standing for a long time in my study room, but yeah, it didn't activate. So I hope if I put him here and he gets a lot of sunlight, he will activate that growth point also. That's a new growth point. Also, my Florida Beauty that was in this one sadly died because one of the cacti completely took him out. And so all the leaves were beyond repair. I tried to propagate because he also had kind of cut, one of the cacti had cut the plant basically in half, so I had to propagate. Then the one with the roots in the soil died, and then after that the cutting died. Because you can't... Taking cuttings in the winter is not a great idea. It's just... a lot of the time you get plants that will rot. So sadly that happened, and I couldn't save him. And so this one was standing for a long time in that corner, and I thought, it's not standing, like, he deserves a space to grow in. And I thought this one is standing empty, so rather than buying a new Florida Beauty, for example, I thought I would put this one here. As you can see, this one is also underwatered at the moment. I did not see this, but as you can see here, he definitely is underwatered. So the funny thing is, where I underwatered a lot of other plants, I overwatered these two, and the other plant that was there, but that died. So I've never tried this specific plant in this space before. Okay, so they all need water now. Check this one this morning. Yes, they all need water. But it is a great site here because there is a lot of new growth. Okay, so I overwatered this plant. And he got some yellow leaves, a lot of yellow leaves. If we're talking about a plant that has not given any yellow leaves since I got him, and since he survived everything. So I overwatered him. He's still very wet. So these are all the plants in the living room except the cacti and succulents. But now I will go to the study room and take you with me. I am very bad with keeping an eye on my Hoyas in the winter. So, well, I told you in I think a few videos ago that this one was, I had underwatered this one and I was rehabilitating him and it went fine. I underwatered it again, and so he's again very dehydrated and I have to rehabilitate him again. So I hope he will do okay and it will go okay. This one is also still rehabilitating. I don't know, he is not progressing but also not worsening, so I'm not sure what is happening with that plant. This one is also rehabilitating, but that's because this one had skill. And so everything here needs water. from these plants. I need to water this one under the sink because this one also is kind of rehabilitating, as you can see from these dehydrated leaves and this leaf. Yeah, also underwater that one. Well, the Calathea died. I underwatered it and it's really shriveled up. I need to hold this one under the sink because the way it is, it just, if I pour water over it, it just falls everywhere. So in the winter it's very cold here. So these plants do not need a lot of water. So I have the tendency to underwater them also. But that plant there, that died. And that plant there, that died. I put there also a philodendron now, next to that philodendron. And that's kind of a cacti, succulent thing. Let's see how it does here. I underwatered these two also, but they're still alive. So let's see if they survive. So this philodendron here is very resilient. It is here since we moved here, so a little bit more than 3 years now, and it's still the same plant. It never died. It rarely gets yellow leaves. This is, for example, one, but it also a lot of the times gets underwatered, so he's doing great. I'm not gonna give that one water because I also bought this one 3-4 days ago and he was also wet from the garden center. So this was Water With Me. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the subscribe and the like button and I will see you in the next video. Doei!